Welcome back. In this session, we will check end-to-end setup of working environment for web automation using Cypress. So here are the steps. First of all, we will start from setting up Node.js. Then we will set up Visual Studio Code. Then we're going to set up npm. After that, we will install library. You can call it Cypress package or library. And at the end, we will verify the installation. So these are the steps we're going to do in this video. First of all, we need to set up Node.js. Before setting up the Node.js, we need to understand what is the use of Node.js. So Node.js, you can simply understand, it is going to provide us JavaScript environment. It's a Node JavaScript. So as we know, Cypress is going to run on JavaScript, means we are going to automate different application using Cypress, and there we are going to write JavaScript code. And for writing and executing JavaScript code, there we need JavaScript environment, and that environment will be provided by Node.js. We can compare it with the JDK. If you have any prior experience on Java, so you must be aware about when we want to automate anything using Java, or when we want to write code in Java, we have to install JDK, which is giving us environment to write Java code. There we can write code, there we can execute code. In the same way, if you are having any experience on Python, so first of all, we are installing Python, then we can use it. If you have any experience in the C++, so there we are installing Turbo C, which is giving us environment for C code and executing it. Here, we are going to work on the JavaScript or TypeScript. For both, we need to set up Node.js. So that's a step one. Okay, let me move to the Google, and I'm simply writing download Node.js. Okay, here we'll go to the nodejs.org, and I'm working on the Windows environment. I'm taking 64-bit installer. If you have a Mac, so you can simply go to the Mac environment, but as of now, I'm going for Windows installer, which is 64-bit. Okay, it will take some time to download. Let it download, then I'll start the installation process. Okay, download is done. I'm just running the installer. So here installer is started. In this installation process, we are not going to make any changes. We will simply go next, next, and finish. Next, accept the license, next, and it is installing on my default location, so I'm just keeping it same. Next, next, install. So it will take few minutes to complete the installation. Okay, once the installation is complete, I'll just click on finish, and I'm opening the command prompt. Once the installation is complete and you want to check Node.js installed successfully or not, you can simply write here node. So if you're not getting any error and we are getting to write some command over here, means yes, installation is done successfully. Also, you are getting your version of the Node.js. So as of now, in my machine, the Node.js version is 20.11.0. I'll just simply do Control C to exit. So I'll just come out from the Node environment. Also, you can write npm. It's a Node package manager. So as you write npm, it shows the different commands which you can use with the npm. So it shows like npm install, npm test, run, help. So many of the commands we are going to cover in the coming sessions, but here we are not getting any error. So if you are not getting any error, means Node environment is set up successfully. What is npm? I'll explain later on, but as of now, you can simply understand what all the libraries are required will be downloaded and installed by using npm. It's a Node package manager. So you can understand it like here in Node.js, what all the libraries we are going to use will be downloaded and installed by this npm. And here we don't call it library, we call it package. So all the packages which are required will be downloaded and installed by using npm. We can use npm or we have other options as well. But here we are going to use npm because that's the most popular option to download and install packages. I'm just moving to the location where my Node.js is set up. So that's a location. One more thing we can check, like we need entry of this Node.js in our environment variable. And check, do we have the entry over there? So I'll open the environment variable. There in the path, I'll just edit. If you check at the bottom, we already have the entry of Node.js here. If we don't have this entry, we can simply copy this location and make a new entry over here. As of now, we already have that entry, so we are not going to make it. But if you don't have, you just need to add Node.js entry in the path environment variable. Okay, if you do not have the entry and you try to write any command which is related to the node or npm, you will not be able to do that. First, this entry is required. But actually, when we are running the installer, when we are running the Node.js installer, it will by default make the entry in environment variable. So if it is making the entry, that's fine. But sometimes when we are working on the system where we don't have admin rights, so there by default entry will not take place. You will have to do that. So you can simply check it. If your node commands are not working on the command prompt, if your node command or npm command is not working, here on the command prompt, you can simply make entry in the environment variable and then you can try. So here we have seen how we can set up Node.js and what is the use and need of Node.js. Also, we have seen how to use npm. We need not to go for any extra setup for npm because that is by default coming with the Node.js. Okay, next I'm going to install MS Visual Studio Code. As you know, here in the Cypress automation, we are going to write code either in JavaScript or TypeScript. For both, we need an editor. So we are going to use a very popular editor, which is Visual Studio Code. It is going to provide us environment where we can write our JavaScript or TypeScript code. So I'll simply go to the Google Visual Studio Code. I'll go to the Visual Studio Code and just download. As of now, I'm working on Windows, so I'm downloading Windows installer, but you can check different installer for the different operating system. That's the most popular editor for writing the JavaScript, but you can use IntelliJ or many other editors are available in the market. And here you can check it support JavaScript, it support TypeScript. Once it download, I'll start the installation. So that is downloaded. I'm just installing it. Accept the license. Next. And I'm just keeping the same location what I'm getting over here. Create a desktop icon. Next. Install. It will take few minutes. I'm waiting for this installation to be complete so we can move next. Okay, that is downloaded and installed. I want to launch it, so I'm just launching it over here. Okay, that is launched successfully. Here we got a welcome screen, means VS Code is installed successfully. And that's a free editor. We need not to go for any license. So that is done. So we set up Node.js, we installed Visual Studio Code, we set up npm. Now we need to install Cypress package, or we can call it library. As of now, I'm going to show you how we can install it, but later on, when we are going to work on the project, we will do a separate installation for each project. I'll explain you why we are going to do a separate installation. That I'll explain in the coming videos. But as of now, I'm just showing you if you want to install any library, it could be Cypress or it could be any other library, how we can do it here on the Node.js. As of now, we are working on Cypress automation, so we need a Cypress library. But later on, if you need any other library, the process would be same. So I'm just moving to command prompt, and here we are writing npm install. We can use -g, but as of now I'm not using that because that has a separate meaning. I'll just go for the npm install Cypress. Now it will download that library and install it. It will take some time. I'm just waiting for this process to be complete. Okay, that is done. I'll just clear the screen. Here we have installed one library. You can install any other library using the same command. Okay, Now I want to check what all the libraries or packages are installed. So it's simply like npm list enter. It will show you what all the libraries and packages are installed. As of now, I'm not using -g because that has a special meaning. So I can simply write npm list. It will show you what all the library or package you have installed on the current directory, or I would say on the current location. Here we have set up Cypress package as well. Now, if you want to check you have the Node.js, you can simply write node. It will show you the version as well. I'll just come out from there by using Control C. If you want to check npm, we can simply write npm. It will show you different commands which we can use with the npm. And here it shows you have the version this and what all the commands we can use with the npm. And at the last we have seen Visual Studio Code. We can simply open that, and if it is working, if it is opened successfully, there is no error, means it is set up successfully. And at the end, I want to check what all the packages we have installed, so it's simply a npm list. So that is an end-to-end installation, end-to-end setup for Cypress automation. That's all we have for this session. Thanks for watching this video.